Hey, Rob here for Quadratec.com. This is Jeep news for the week of February 4th, and today we're talking about Gladiator, and you guessed it, more Gladiator, and how one can be yours if the price is right. So let's get right to it, starting off with two brand new commercials that Jeep unveiled for the Super Bowl this past weekend. Now, both were fantastic, with one getting slightly more buzz from the Jeep community than the other. So we can get started with this one here, a great reimagining of the Star-Spangled Banner using imagery instead of words. Now, I think it does a great job at capturing the essence of the Jeep brand and tying it to the spirit and history of our great country. Of course, Jeep is tied very closely to the history of the United States, tracing its lineage back to World War II. Now, overall, I think the ad embodies a lot of what it means to be an American, and they did a great job with this spot. Next up, we have another commercial that focuses specifically on the all-new 2020 Jeep Gladiator. Now, this one has been getting a bit more buzz in the community, with some of you out there being none too happy about what's going down. So in this ad, we see an original 60s era Gladiator being lowered into a car crusher. The crusher fires up and then starts to close down on the Gladiator. At the last possible moment, we see the headlights illuminate and the Gladiator starts to fight back, pushing the crusher back open. When the camera pulls back, it reveals the all-new 2020 Gladiator with the tagline, "Gladiator is back." Now, while I think this commercial does a great job at paying some homage to the lineage of the Gladiator, a lot of you out there are not very happy with the guys over at Jeep for putting an original 60s era Gladiator in the crusher. And yes, that was a real vehicle that got crushed. In a statement from FCA, they said that they acquired this Gladiator from a scrap dealer for the commercial. And they also said that the truck was a non-running, non-driving vehicle. So with this knowledge, we can assume, hopefully, that the interior of the truck was pretty much empty and that there was no powertrain in place. Now, also with this truck coming from a scrap dealer, I think it's pretty safe to say that it wasn't necessarily in the best shape. I'm sure the team had to do a bit of reconditioning to get the truck camera ready, which is far different from actually restoring the Gladiator. Now, there's also evidence in the commercial of either a stand-in truck cab or some CGI work happening. With the Gladiator on the forklift, you can clearly see a full-size rearview window. However, when the truck starts to get crushed and the camera angle changes into the bed of the truck, you see a much different looking, smaller rear window. And then, of course, we never do see the Gladiator get completely flattened. So hopefully that means that truck is still around somewhere. Now, moving on to other Gladiator news, the Philadelphia Auto Show is happening all this week. So if you're local to the Philadelphia area, well, here's your chance to head on down and check out what's new from Jeep. Now, they have the full lineup present, everything from the Compass all the way up to the Grand Cherokee. But what I think is really the star of the show is the all-new Gladiator. Now, of course, we saw the Gladiator a few months back when we were out in LA for the big reveal. However, we're still a few months away from seeing them arrive on dealership lots. So this was a great opportunity for us to get a little more hands-on time with the Gladiator. Now, Jeep is also running the Camp Jeep Experience, where you can ride around in their test track in any one of their trail-rated vehicles. Unfortunately, the Gladiator was not available for ride-alongs as of yet. Now, while we were at the show, we did take the opportunity to take a closer look at the bed of the all-new Gladiator, and we're putting together a video right now that will be available later this week for you with a full rundown of all the great features that are both standard and optional on the bed. And we put a tape measure to almost every inch of that truck bed, so you'll definitely want to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already to make sure you don't miss that video. Now, this is also a big week out in California as the 2019 King of the Hammers Desert Race is taking place right now as we speak, with qualifiers being run on Monday of this week for the Everyman Challenge. Now, there's a ton of great action that you can go check out by going to ultra4racing.com, or you can head over and check out the Ultra 4 YouTube channel, as they'll be bringing you live coverage of the event all week long. And of course, the highlight that I was looking forward to during the qualifying was seeing the number 5337 car being driven by Eric Miller, which was put together by the guys over at Savvy Off-Road, along with some help from the team at Rockcrawler Suspension. Now, these guys are running a brand new Jeep Gladiator out in the wild of Johnson Valley, and they're going to be thrashing this thing over the next few days and really putting it through its paces. So you'll definitely want to tune in for the Everyman Challenge race that will air Wednesday, February 6th at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I know I'll be tuned in on that one for sure. Now, finally, the last bit of Gladiator news that I have for you guys today is related to pricing. And while it's still up in the air, as we don't have official numbers from Jeep, I do have it on pretty good authority from a reputable source. We're going to be looking about a $300 to $3,500 markup over an equivalently priced Wrangler JL. So if we're looking at a JL Sport Unlimited starting at about $31,445, then a Gladiator Sport should be right around $35,000. And while there's no Sahara trim level on the Gladiator, the Overland should be pretty equivalent to the JL Sahara, putting that truck just under $42,000. And for the Rubicon, well, that means we can see prices starting right around $45,000. All in all, that's not too bad. And while these numbers aren't official, that sets up the Gladiator Rubicon to be a pretty decent competitor, especially for something like a Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro, which starts at $42,000, or Chevy Colorado ZR2, which comes in starting at $43,995. But we're just going to have to wait and see what those official numbers are. Hopefully Jeep won't keep us on the hook for too much longer. I know a lot of us are dying to find out just whether we've got enough room in the wallet to add one of these new Gladiators to our garage. So we'll just have to wait on Jeep for those official prices. Now, up last, speaking of prices, some light news for you guys. Some of you may already be aware of my recent appearance on The Price is Right. While we were out in LA for the Gladiator's big reveal, well, we had a little bit of downtime. So a few of the guys here at Quadratec and myself went to a taping of The Price is Right, and well, a small dream of mine definitely came true. I got to be an actual contestant on The Price is Right. Now, that episode aired on January 30th, and it's available now over at cbs.com if you guys want to go check that out. I have to say a special thanks to the guys over at JCR Off-Road for the dumb shirt of the month that I like to think played just a small part in helping me get selected as a contestant on the show. It was a ton of fun, and I highly recommend that if you're ever out in the LA area to try and get to a show taping, and who knows, you might just get called down for a chance to play. Now, also, as you probably have already noticed, well, I'm standing in front of an unfamiliar background, and I'm excited to announce that here at Quadratec, we've just finished construction on our brand new garage. We have a totally new remodeled space that's going to allow us to make a ton of new videos for you guys, so you'll definitely want to stay tuned. We're going to have plenty more Gladiator videos coming for you, as well as a bunch of other Wrangler JL stuff, but we're not going to forget about you guys with the older Jeeps too. So let me know below what you guys think of today's video, and what are your thoughts on those two Jeep commercials? Do you think they did the Gladiator justice, or were you absolutely appalled that they crushed an original 60s Gladiator? How about that truck running out in the King of the Hammers race? Are you guys going to be watching at home? I know I sure will. And finally, weigh in on that pricing. Let me know what your thoughts are, if you think those numbers are accurate, and hey, whether or not you're going to be adding one to your garage. That's all I've got for today. Make sure that you guys definitely hit that subscribe button. We'll have plenty more videos coming your way. And don't forget about that Gladiator truck bed close-up look coming very shortly. Till next time, I'm Rob. I'll see you guys out on the trail.